Derby Date Night, Juniors Tournament Edition. We are live at Perry Park in Indianapolis, Indiana, where we are one of 9 different regional playoffs, locations battling for a chance to play for the national title. We are following 6 amazing teams over the course of this weekend. Our hosts, JRDA, are joined by Black and Bluegrass from Kentucky, Pittsburgh Roller Derby from Pennsylvania, Kalamazoo Killer Beez out of Michigan, Cincinnati Junior Roller Derby from Ohio, and Savannah Roller Derby from Georgia. Don't worry if you get confused. We have graphics you can watch during halftime and between games that will give you all of the information you need to follow along all weekend. You are joining us for game number 1, which is on your screen up at the top left of your screen. Game number 1 between Cincinnati and Kalamazoo. The winner of this game will go on to the, is it called the semifinals? The game before this, so the semifinals later today at 4 o'clock. Before we begin, we should probably introduce ourselves. We are Derby Date Night. We bring you live roller derby in and around the Midwest. I'm Aria Kidding Me, and I'll be your play-by-play announcer all weekend with all the action and some corny jokes. Behind the camera is Sirius Lee, my forever date and the real brains behind this operation. He serves as our technical producer-director who makes all the cool things happen behind the scenes, and sometimes I even make him laugh. For those who don't know what we do here at Derby Date Night, we bring you both good roller derby and bad jokes. Every stream we have a theme for our jokes, and this weekend is no different. Thinking of a joke topic this weekend was easy as pie, because when I think about kids, I also think about candy. We all know kids are big fans of candy, and this tournament is nothing to snicker about. In order to get their payday, these kids can't fall to pieces or have Butterfingers. They need to get good and plenty of rest, take 5 deep breaths, and use their Smarties to come out with a whopper of a win. Yes, I had way too much fun writing that. Take a second and let us know your favorite candy and who you are rooting for in the chat. If you are just finding us for the first time, welcome. We love to interact with our community, affectionately known as our third wheels, and would love to have you along for the ride. We encourage you to chat with each other, send super chats to shout out skaters, and participate in our polls. If you want to help us take us to the next level, there are so many easy and free ways you can support us. Please like and subscribe as it helps us grow our channel. You can also find us at Derby Date Night on Facebook, Instagram, and our website. If you want to be an even bigger part of the Derby Date Night crew, you can join our YouTube membership program. Becoming a member not only helps create even more awesome content, it also unlocks exclusive perks just for you. As a member, you get access to things like bonus content, shoutouts in our videos, members-only badges, and even sneak peeks at upcoming episodes. Plus, your support helps us travel to more Derby events, improve our videos, and keep the Derby love rolling strong. Sirius and I love our Derby Date Nights, and we want to keep bringing you all the best Derby action. So hit that join button and check out all the awesome perks waiting for you. Every membership makes a huge difference, and we appreciate you all so much. Let's grow this Derby-loving community together. When we started this 3 years ago, we never thought that we would have this many third wheel members who support us in everything we do, traveling in and around the Midwest and being here for our first regional tournament. This is the first time we are doing a official, like, this is going to the Nationals type of a tournament, and we are so excited. We were able to participate in the Speedway Smackdown a few months ago, and it was so much fun watching these junior skaters. We are seeing a lot of the same teams we saw in the Speedway Smackdown. We had, who did we have? We had Black and Bluegrass, Indy, and Pittsburgh. So those, and Icy Bruisers. Well, no, I'm saying who we're seeing again. The Icy Bruisers aren't here today. So we have 3 of the teams we saw at the Smackdown that are here for this regional playoff, but there are regional playoffs happening all over the country. So this weekend, there are 2 female division playoffs happening, one in Austin, Texas, another in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and there are 3 other open division playoffs that are happening in Salem, Oregon, Salt Lake City, Utah, and here. So that's what's happening this weekend. And then next week, we have even more tournaments happening in Ventura, California, Des Moines, Iowa, Rome, Georgia, and York, Pennsylvania. So out of those tournaments, we will see which teams get to go on to compete in the Nationals July 12th and 13th in Loveland, Colorado. So Going to be a really exciting two weekends. We are so happy to have you all here joining us to watch all the action. We know there are live streams for the other playoffs as well, so we will also try to keep you updated on how those games are going and how things are shaking out. But right now, we are about to get started. So let's find out who we are going to be watching play today. Sirius, can I see one of the teams, please? Yeah, I didn't give him enough warning. Okay, I'll keep chatting and pretending. Okay, there we go. Here are your Cincinnati Junior Roller Girls. There is your team roster of who you are going to be seeing out there playing today. Shout out your favorite skater if one of your skaters is out there on that list. And we've also got the Kalamazoo Killer Beez. So there is your roster for that team, and we are so excited to have them here. Shout out your favorite skater if you would like to. And on our ref crew for this first game, we have got Colin M. Fairley, Filet Official, Guinness, Luna Shovegood, Miller, Kyle Crocodile, and Maz Ref are our skating officials. Our non-skating officials are Dorothy Galeforce, Madame Morningstar, Mr. Bruise Guy, Where's Walco, Sea Rage, Sarah Dactyl, Heather Hernandez, Cheshire Stats, and Wolf. So excited to have all of these people here. It takes a village to support a derby game. What did we find out recently, Sirius? There are more refs out there on the track than there are skaters at any given time during the play. So we really appreciate every single one of our officials who help us make these games happen. They have so many different roles and so many different things we do, and we appreciate each and every one of them. Looks like we are getting close to getting started here. I see that the Killer Bees have lined up, and the refs are about to go out and get started here. All right, we have got our first two jammers out on the track. I see Jaws for Cincinnati lined up, and looks like for the Killer Bees, we have got Barbie Basher. We've seen both of these skaters on Derby Date Night before. We know these jammers, don't we, Sirius? While Cincinnati was not at the Speedway SmackDown, Jaws did play in a mashup game that happened at the Speedway SmackDown. So excited to watch Jaws jam again, and Barbie Basher, who we've seen a few times with Kalamazoo. That whistle means we have 30 seconds until the game begins. Once we hear the next whistle, there goes the game, and we are off to the races. Both jammers are currently stuck at the back of the pack. Barbie Basher dashing up the outside line is going to be your first lead jammer of the day for Kalamazoo. Coming around on a first scoring pass while Kalamazoo is holding Jaws in the back. Barbie Basher's pushed to the inside line. She is currently on a scoring pass, will be eligible to score points. Jaws getting recycled to the back. Jaws has the star off, so might be looking for a pivot to pass it to. Barbie Basher is through for 4 points for Kalamazoo. Jaws, in the meantime, was able to get out of the pack. That was her initial, so she will not be scoring any points until she comes around. If Barbie Basher does not tap her hips to indicate that the jam is over, and Barbie does tap her hips after getting 2 more points for Kalamazoo, holding Cincy to 0, bringing Kalamazoo to 6. They are the first ones on the board. Good morning to Aaron Moody and Jay Burton. Thank you for participating in the chat. Aaron is saying, on death rows, misconduct, MIA, and bloodbath. Cheering for some skaters that are out there on the track today. Ragin' Ray is on the line for Kalamazoo. And for Cincinnati, we have got Super Snake. All right, everybody going to the outside there, but which jammer is going to come out as lead? That is going to be Ragin' Ray for Kalamazoo, zooming around the track on a first scoring pass. Meanwhile, Super Snake is trying to pull that pack apart and does so to get out. Ragin' Ray flies through the pack, grabbing 4 points for Kalamazoo, and does decide to call that jam, preventing Cincinnati from scoring any points. Kalamazoo with 4 more points, bringing them to 10. 2 quick jams to start off the morning. Sirius, you got your caffeine? You're ready? I know both Sirius and I have our coffees. We got our iced lattes this morning. Hope you've got your caffeine, because it's going to be a long day, but a fun one. All right, I got Princess Leia out for Kalamazoo on the line up against Lil Bruiser for Cincinnati. Cincinnati really trying to get that first lead jammer status of the game here, as Kalamazoo has had both lead jammers, and Princess Leia out sneaking around does get out and gets that third lead jammer status for Kalamazoo. Meanwhile, Lil Bruiser got pushed out to the outside, has taken that star off, is getting pulled to the back, and is trying to sneak through those blockers to figure out a way out. She does get out, but Princess Leia out also gets through, grabbing 4 points and calls that jam. Another 4 points on the board for Kalamazoo. What Cincinnati's doing here that is really smart is they are, even though they're not getting lead jam and they haven't scored any points yet, they've been doing a really good job of getting out very quickly and forcing the call off. So the way that you get ahead really fast in Derby is you can hold and score at the same time. What's happening right now is the jammers are getting out, they're scoring, but then the holding is not happening for as long. So Cincinnati's doing a great job of helping their jammer get out of the pack when they do not get lead jammer. Barbie Basher is your lead jammer for Kalamazoo. Fruit Punch is in the pack as Barbie Basher's coming around on a first scoring pass. Barbie getting pushed to the inside, and managing to stay inbounds to grab 4 points. A little hop, hoping to stay in bounds, but not quite able to. Takes a hit to the inside and is in that pack for a second pass. Skaters can only get a maximum of 4 points each time they go through the pack, because they get a point for every single blocker that they pass. Fruit Punch was able to get out of that pack and is chasing down Barbie Basher, who does decide to call the jam, preventing Barbie from scoring any points. Kalamazoo 22, Cincinnati 0. Cincinnati still hoping to get on the board here. We've got Jaws on the line for Cincinnati, and Ragin' Ray is going to be jamming for Kalamazoo as we get ready for the 4th jam of this game. Oh, and a little jammer on jammer action at the beginning of that jam, with Ragin' Ray pushing Jaws out, then Ragin' Ray ducking to the inside line and getting lead jammer, but Jaws is on her tail. Ragin' Ray hits the pack and hits the hips. Jaws doing a little apex hop, trying to steal any points, but it was too late. That jam had already been called off. So good effort there on Cincinnati's part. Again, the same thing I've been talking about. They did a great job of helping get their jammer out. So once your jammer does not get lead, then you have no one to block, right? So you can go back and you can help your jammer by stopping that defense from holding your jammer. So you are playing both offense and defense at the same time when you're playing roller derby, and these skaters are doing a really good job of helping their jammer out when they don't get lead. Princess Leia out is lead for Kalamazoo, and this is going to be our first power jam of the day, as Super Snake from Cincinnati is headed to the penalty box. So Princess Leia out will have 30 seconds to get as many points as she can while Super Snake waits in the penalty box. Hi, Queen of Hearts. It's so great to see you in the chat, rooting for all the skaters that you work with. Representing Vet City here in the chat. Super Snake is standing, so less than 10 seconds left on that penalty. Princess Leia out has scored 4 points and is currently on her second pass, and does decide to call the jam as Super Snake comes out. That was an interesting decision there, because Super Snake was still on her initial pass, so was not eligible to score points as she came out. I might have waited to see if my blockers could hold, but that sometimes the awareness is, sometimes you just want to get the jam over. She'd already scored 8 points. And in this tournament, points don't matter. This is win or lose. So if you win by 100 or you win by 1, it's a win. So the point differentials aren't really going to make a difference. Oh, we've got a timeout. Guess what that means? Because you're watching Derby Date Night, that means you get some jokes. And today, we have got some sweet, sweet jokes about candy. You are so welcome for streaming. We're so glad to be here, streaming our first regional tournament, and we are so excited to see who comes out on top as the winners and goes on to the Nationals in Colorado. Okay, I gotta tell some jokes. What do you call a sheep covered in sugar? A candy bar. Why did the M&M go to college? He wanted to be a smarty. That one was kind of so, What bear has no teeth? A gummy bear. Yeah. Okay, that whistle means you are saved from any more jokes, and we are going to get back to some roller derby. Barbie Basher on the line for Kalamazoo, and looks like Little Bruiser for Cincinnati. Little Bruiser's braids are so long. Do you see how long the hair is? Beautiful, beautiful. I don't have long hair, so I always get jealous of these skaters with long hair. Okay, it's taken a little while to get a lead jammer established here, but it is Barbie Basher who comes out. I saw Lil Bruiser almost out of the pack there. It was very close between these two skaters to see who was going to be lead. Lil Bruiser was able to get out of the pack about a quarter track behind. Barbie Basher getting in there, grabbing 3 more points for Kalamazoo, and that will be the end of that jam. Aaron, I appreciate your laughter emoji because I know these jokes are bad. We do not claim to have good jokes on Derby Date Night. We do claim to have good roller derby, but bad jokes are part of our shtick. Ragin' Ray for Kalamazoo and Fruit Punch for 87. Fruit Punch is number 87. Wow, I'm already switching stuff. Fruit Punch saw it's an opening on the inside and tried to take it, but was not able to, and that is Ragin' Ray who comes out with lead. All right, Ragin' Ray coming in on a scoring pass, hits a tripod, really strong tripod. So Ragin' Ray on a scoring pass was able to get past that tripod as Fruit Punch is still being held in the pack. Fruit Punch still has that star on. Kalamazoo doing a great job reforming around Ragin' Ray, keeping that tripod strong. Meanwhile, Cincinnati is holding Ray as well. Down to 1 skater, and Ray was able to get past that last skater to get out for 4 points. That was a hard-earned 4 points, though. That took a long time to get those 4 points. Ragin' Ray coming into the pack on another scoring pass, but Fruit Punch is on her heels, and that is the end of the jam. That was a big jam for Kalamazoo, 11 points scored. Heather says, let's go Cincinnati Junior Roller Derby. Princess Leia out for Kalamazoo and Jaws for Cincinnati. We have got 1 Kalamazoo blocker in the box. So Jaws has to get through 3 blockers, while Princess Leia out is dealing with 4 blockers that she's got to get past. Oh, 2. There are only 2 blockers now on the track for Kalamazoo, and it is almost a first lead jam for Jaws, but Jaws gets called on a track cut. So unfortunate for Cincinnati, but Kalamazoo is going to be getting that lead jammer for Princess Leia out, while Jaws waits in the penalty box with some of those Kalamazoo blockers. Princess Leia out gets through for 4 points for Kalamazoo. Looks to the bench to get some direction and is coming around on a first scoring pass. Princess Leia out getting tangled up in that pack. Ooh, nice offense there from one of her blockers on death rows, providing some assistance to Princess Leia out. Jaws is back in the pack and tiptoes up that inside line to get out and force that call off, but the damage has been done, and Princess Leia outscored 12 points for Kalamazoo in that jam. Okay, Barbie, is that Barbie Basher? I think that's Barbie Basher. And who is our jammer? Super Snake. My watch just told me that we are in a loud environment, serious. People are excited about the Derby. I love it whenever I'm announcing and I see the loud environment because I'm like, good, that means we've got a good crowd. Barbie Basher is your lead jammer for Kalamazoo. We are almost halfway through this first half. On death row's right. That was really good moves there. Ooh, Barbie Basher is through. Or Super Snake is through. Barbie Basher gets through for 4 points and does decide to call the jam before Cincinnati can score any points. Cincinnati still trying to get on the board. They almost had a lead jam in that one jam when Jaws went to the box. So they are going to be trying real hard here to get that first lead jammer status or those first points. Either one, I think, would make them happy. Meanwhile, Kalamazoo is going to be trying to hold on and stretch this lead a little bit more and see what they can get done with this next jam. Lil Bruiser and Ragin' Ray on death rows doing some great one-on-one blocking there to hold Ragin' Ray, or to hold Lil Bruiser. Meanwhile, Ragin' Ray gets through as lead jammer. Lil Bruiser gets out of the pack and is going to be approaching the pack hoping to score some points if Ragin' Ray does not call the jam, but Ragin' Ray hits those hips and does call the jam. Here at Derby Date Night, we always, well, we just started this like a month ago, but it's always now. We have started choosing a skater of the game, and we have a special Derby Date Night sticker that skaters can get as a badge of honor if they win skater of the game. It is always voted on by our chat, and we will continue to be doing that during this tournament. So after halftime, we will be putting up some nominees for skater of the game. If you have anyone you would like to see nominated for skater of the game, let us know in the chat. Meanwhile, while I'm talking, I guess I need to just not talk about the game. Fruit Punch was like, okay, now that you're not watching, I'm going to get lead jammer for Cincinnati and get those first points on the board for Cincinnati. 3 points, hard earned for Cincinnati. Barbie Basher and Jaws, we have seen these two on the line quite a bit for their respective teams. We've got one blocker in the box for Kalamazoo. Pretty low on penalties so far. We have one skater, it looks like, with 2 penalties on each team. Jaws. Okay, Cincinnati was like, you know what? We're gonna do that again. And so Jaws is now lead jammer. Barbie Basher is being held at the back of that pack, is weaving in and out from inside to outside, takes a hit to the outside, and is stuck in, oh no, it is gonna be a power jam for Cincinnati as Barbie Basher is headed to the box on a forearm. So Jaws, having already scored, oh my gosh, I could never do that when I was skating. Just fix it, let's just tighten our wheel while we're while skating as lead jammer and coming around to score more points. Jaws takes a hit to the inside and is being pulled to the back. Cincinnati coming up to provide some offense to help Jaws get through as that tripod is reforming at the front. Jaws trying to stay in the middle of the pack. Barbie Basher is out of the box, is holding that star in her hand, but is ready to play. She comes back out and that jam is called. That's another time that they were still on initial, so Barbie was not on or was Barbie on initial? I'm not sure. See, it's hard to remember when people go to the box whether they're on their initial or not. So if you're not sure, just call it. Big Rig says, hello, Derby Date Night. Hello, Big Rig. It's nice to see you. We're always excited to have you all here in the chat, and this is a regional playoff, so this is like for the big national championship. whoever wins gets to go. And we've got 4 games today and 3 games tomorrow, I think. So we're going to be here all weekend hanging out with you. Lead jammer goes to Rage and Ray for Kalamazoo. Meanwhile, Super Snake is jamming for Cincinnati. Pushing that duo of blockers doing a really great job there holding Super Snake. And Super Snake gets a penalty. No, Kalamazoo. Rage and Ray gets a penalty. So this is going to be not only a power jam for Cincinnati, but this is going to be a 2-minute jam because the jammer that was lead is in the penalty box. And that penalty was a C. We remember what that is? Serious? I'm reaching into my bag to get my penalty cheat sheet because, okay, refs in the chat, let me know. We get to meet you in person, Big Rig. Oh, that's so exciting. We're excited you came all this way to be able to, are you cheering on your team or are you on the team? I can't remember which one. Okay, the C was an illegal contact. I don't think anyone at that point cared anymore except for me, but that is the penalty that Rage and Ray got that led to this being a 2-minute jam. Kalamazoo putting their first 4 points on the board. Cincy has 4 points on the board. Both jammers approaching that pack. Both jammers on scoring passes. Oh, beautiful. The pivot for Cincinnati, Smearcat, is now the jammer and busted through to grab 4 more points. Meanwhile, Rage and Ray is going to the penalty box a second time on a track cut. Oh, you're playing with Pittsburgh. Oh, awesome. And there's a lot of mishmash stuff happening in the pack, but with all that mishmash also comes a whistle. So that is the end of that jam. Both teams scoring Cincinnati scoring 12 points and Kalamazoo scoring 8 in that jam. Still pretty low on penalties. We have got 12 minutes left in this first half. Whoever wins this game will play again at 4 o'clock today in the semifinal game. And whoever does not win this game will play tomorrow. I don't remember what time. Or maybe later today. I don't remember. Regardless. And another Cincinnati lead jam going to Lil Bruiser while Rage and Ray waits in the penalty box on this power jam. 10 seconds left on that penalty. Lil Bruiser is on a scoring pass. Lil Bruiser is through. Coming around on a scoring pass. Oh, thought she stayed in bounds and did not stay in bounds, but oh, I was like, why aren't they calling the cut? Because I thought that was a cut. It was a cut. It was a cut. So now it's a do-si-do, and Cincinnati will wait in the penalty box while Rage and Ray has an opportunity to score some points. Rage and Ray only has 1 blocker out there to help with this offense, while 4 Cincinnati blockers are out there to block Rage and Ray. Nice job staying on. Oh, wait, and a penalty on Rage and Ray. What for? I suppose I'll find out in a second. So that was a shenana jam. Copyright Kimbo Slicer Circle City Roller Derby as the jammers switch spots, and the second jammer will sit for as long as the first jammer was in the penalty box. Lil Bruiser out of the box and on a scoring pass. Ooh, I was hoping for a jump there. Not able to complete that apex jump completely, so has to go to the back of the pack. Meanwhile, a star has been passed to the pivot, Misconduct, who is now the jammer, coming around to score some points. This will be a 2-minute jam. Misconduct takes a tumble, takes a hit, stays in bounds, and gets through for 4 points for Kalamazoo. Lil Bruiser has got 1 more Kalamazoo skater to get past and does so, grabbing 4 points of their own. Misconduct in the pack again. Got a couple more points for Kalamazoo, and that jam ended with 10 points for Kalamazoo and 12 for Cincinnati. The penalty box, you know, Aaron, you're correct. The penalty box is busy. It's much more busy with Kalamazoo than it is with Cincinnati, looking at the penalties. At the next, in between the next 2 jams, we will pull up the penalties so you can take a look at where everybody is standing. Oh, or right now, since there's a timeout. We have 1 skater On Cincinnati, Cincinnati's keeping it real clean. Not a lot of penalties. That is not the case, though, for Kalamazoo. They are the ones keeping this penalty box busy. Almost everybody has a penalty. On death row's doing some amazing blocking, but got to hold it in check because we have got some 4 penalties. You are only allowed to get 6. 6 are free. The 7th penalty is going to cost you, and you will foul out of the game if you get a 7th penalty. So on death rows, we have less than 10 minutes left in this first half, and then we got a whole other 30 minutes to go. So on death rows is going to have to slow the pace down a little bit with the penalties in order to make it through the entire game. Something interesting that I have noticed doing both adult and junior roller derby, juniors tend to foul out a lot more than adults do. So it is definitely something that we notice. Juniors are, I think they're just willing to take chances more, is what we discussed last time. So we will see how this progresses throughout the day. But since we are in a official timeout, we are going to tell you a few more candy jokes. What country does candy come from, Sirius? No, not Candida. Sweden.
I like mine better.
You like yours better? What do you drink when you don't want something strong? Licorice. He goes, nah. What's a leopard's favorite candy? Dots. Yep, you got it. Big Rig says, we juniors live on the edge. Yes, you do. Which also means there are more exciting plays sometimes that happens with the juniors because you all just throw your bodies everywhere. And it is sometimes some really amazing things happen, and sometimes you go to the penalty box. What kind of candy goes best on Christmas trees? Ornaments. Sirius did not laugh at that one. Okay, wait. I'm going to find out what that review was for. In just a second. Maybe. Nope, I don't think I'm going to find out. Okay, I am going to find out. What was it?
The jam ref was confused why they pulled the skater off at the beginning.
Okay, so they were just kind of clarifying some things. Okay, there was a little bit of confusion. They were clarifying some things. That's what happened. That's all I know. Oh, no, but you can always come over when you think I'm looking at you. Always. If I look at you, just come on over and say hi. See? Hi. Sirius is telling me to pay attention to the game and stop talking to people. That's maybe a good idea. Princess Leia is your lead jammer, while Fruit Punch is out of the pack and will be chasing Princess Leia down. Princess goes through, grabs those 4 points, and calls the jam. You know, Sirius, you never give me the chance to just talk to my friends. He goes, you had 3 hours before the game to talk to your friends. Yes, and I'm sure the chat does not just want to listen to me just chat away with people. Although I don't know, sometimes my conversations are quite delightful. Barbie Basher on the line for Kalamazoo and Jaws for Cincinnati. These two have gone up against each other quite a few times. Barbie Basher trying to stay in bounds on that inside line. Does so with those tiptoes and gets out as lead jammer. Meanwhile, Jaws is being pulled to the back. And Barbie Basher gets through. Jaws does get out of the pack, but is not lead. Will be chasing Barbie Basher down. Barbie coming into the pack on a scoring pass, avoiding a hit. Nice job there from Cincinnati, forcing that call off. Kalamazoo was able to get 8 points, bringing them to 97. Big Rig sees Filet Official. That's a great name. Filet Official. I just love names. They're so fun. Super Snake is on the line for Cincinnati, and I think Kalamazoo forgot to field a jammer. Sirius, all you're doing is making hand signals that mean nothing. You just look like you were swimming through a pack of people. So is that going to be a penalty because there was no jammer fielded? I'm guessing that's what the whistle was, because usually if there's no jammer fielded, they just call the jam dead, and then someone is going to get a penalty. That's my guess. As we wait. Nope, maybe not. I just made it up. I don't know what happened. Because no one's in the penalty box. The penalty box is empty. There is no delay of game? Tough tone? So there was no, oh, I got it from Bruce. There was no delay of game for not fielding a jammer? Oh, okay. Okay, because Kalamazoo thought they had a jammer in the box. Okay, so 05 was called on a penalty, and that penalty was overturned right before the jam started. So, and Kalamazoo did not have enough time to fix it before the next jam and put out a jammer. So they will not receive a delay of game because they did not have enough time to field the jammer. So no delay of game, and that's why. Yes, Queen of Hearts, the captain. That's why I was confused. I was like, why is there not a penalty being assessed to the captain? But it's because that penalty was overturned on the jammer, and they didn't have enough time to get a jammer out. So Rage and Ray is on a scoring pass right now. Super Snake has gotten through the pack. for 3 points for Kalamazoo, which brings them to the century mark. They have hit 100 with 6.5 minutes left in this first half of our first game of our 6-game tournament. It's going to be a fun weekend, right, Sirius? I'm so excited to see all these games. I love watching juniors. They're just so much fun. Princess Leia out is on the line for Kalamazoo, and Lil Bruiser for Cincinnati. Princess Leia out. Oh, beautiful bust through the tripod on the inside and then juked to the outside to get out of the pack and become lead jammer for Kalamazoo. Meanwhile, using some spinny moves, Lil Bruiser is able to stay in bounds and get out to chase down Princess Leia out, who says, I am not going to let you score any points because I'm going to call the jam, after scoring 4 points for Kalamazoo. Jem is excited. I love it when the chat talks to each other. Jem is excited to see Queen in the chat. I'm excited to see all of y'all in the chat. Always fun. So Kalamazoo now at 104, Cincy at 34, and we have got Barbie Basher on the line for Kalamazoo and Fruit Punch for Cincinnati. Fruit Punch on the inside line meets a blocker. Barbie Basher getting stuck behind a lot of defense and was not able to get that offense, is getting a penalty. Fruit Punch got out of the pack and will be lead jammer for Cincinnati. Barbie Basher is going to wait in the penalty box on a high block. Chaos! So excited to see you here. I'm so sorry that your daughter is not able to make it. I'm thinking of her. I'm sure the team is thinking of her, and we miss you both, and we're so glad you're able to join us in the chat. What a nice hit there from, is that On Death Rose again? On Death Rose is killing it, doing such a good job, pulling Fruit Punch back to the back. Fruit Punch is stuck behind all the blockers and decides to call it as Barbie Basher gets out of the penalty box. Not going to give Barbie any opportunity to score any points. Meanwhile, since he did grab 4 more points. Jaws is on the line for Cincinnati. And Rage and Ray for Kalamazoo. Rage and Ray and Jaws gave each other a fist bump right before the jam started. The penalty box is currently empty with 4 minutes left in this first half. Rage and Ray at the back of the pack. Jaws at the front of a very tight pack. Jaws is able to get through on the outside line and will be lead jammer for Cincinnati. Meanwhile, there was a little bit of a tumble and everybody kind of falling down as Rage and Ray is trying to adjust and find any holes in that defense. Jaws is being pulled to the back of the pack. Kalamazoo focused on defense as much as they can. Jaws gets through. Rage and Ray has the star off. Might be looking for, no, the pivot has the star. So there was a pivot pass to Crazy K. Meanwhile, Jaws has gone through to score 8 points and is coming in on a third scoring pass. Going to try for 12 here. This would be the biggest scoring jam for Cincinnati so far. Jaws is able to get through, but so is Crazy K. And Jaws does decide to call it, but not before scoring 12 points for Cincinnati, bringing them to a total of 50. A little bit less than 3 minutes left in this first half, and we've got Super Snake on the line for Cincinnati, and I see Princess Leia talking to a coach. After halftime, we will be putting up one blocker and one jammer from each team as skater of the game. If you have any skaters that you think have done a really great job so far in this game and you want us to consider nominating them, go ahead and put their name in that chat and tell us why we should consider giving them a nomination for the coveted Derby Date Night Skater of the Game sticker. We are in a timeout again, which means I am going to tell you some more candy jokes. Who is in charge of candy corn? The Colonel. What's a robot's favorite candy? Wally Pop. We got 2 blockers from Cincinnati. Oh no, that looks like maybe overturned, or do we have an ejection? Oh, I think we might have an ejection. Is that skater leaving? Or are they going to the bench? That is Moody, who is a blocker. Just to the bench. Okay, so there was an overturn. I would rather have an overturned penalty than end up in expelled. So I'm glad that was the mistake I made, and they were not expelled. They were just going back to their bench. So we have 2 blockers from Kalamazoo in the box, and we got 1 blocker in the box for Cincinnati. What? We got our zebras talking, but they're not talking all together. We have one group of zebras talking on the inside. We have another group of zebras talking on the outside. Usually they talk together. I don't know why there's 2 different conversations happening right now. Okay, we are about to get going again. Princess Leia out and Super Snake on the line for their respective teams. Cincinnati with the pack advantage, 3-2. Super Snake needs to get past these 2 blockers. They push Super Snake to the outside. Super Snake recovers, but not in time. Princess Leia out is the one who comes. No! Princess Leia out gets a track cut. So Super Snake should be called as lead jammer at this point because I think yep. Super Snake is lead jammer while Princess Leia waits in the penalty box. So this will be a power jam for Cincinnati and Super Snake. Great opportunity for Cincinnati. Super Snake is going to have to get past this tripod. Super Snake is trying their best to get through, hoping for some offense, getting some help. 4 points scored for Cincinnati in that jam. They were hoping to do a little bit more to be able to really take advantage of that power jam, but unfortunately, they were not able to do that. So we will start with another jam with 1 minute and 23 seconds left on the clock. This could be our last jam of the first half, but don't you worry, Cincinnati and Kalamazoo fans, we have got a whole nother half of this game and then 6 more this weekend. So stick around because we're going to be having lots of derby and lots of jokes all weekend long. Little Bruiser and Barbie Basher on the line for their respective teams. Barbie Basher getting pushed to the inside. Little Bruiser is lead jammer and coming around on a scoring pass. Barbie Basher takes a hit to the inside from Wolfblood. Little Bruiser in the pack, takes a spin. Little Bruiser does a great job with those spins to be able to get through and grab 4 points. Coming in, 4 more points. The crowd is going crazy. Both of these teams are from less than like 3 hours away. So I do believe there have been some people that have driven quite a ways to come see their skaters play today. And we have got people cheering on both sides of the what? Both sides of the what? Track? Yeah. But they're not split. Like, it's not like a wedding where you sit on your person's side. They're all intermingled. 4 seconds left in this first half. If there is no timeout called, we will go to intermission. Kalamazoo 108, Cincinnati coming up in that last jam to 64. Cincinnati ended that first half with a good run, putting some pressure on Kalamazoo. So these teams are going to take a 15-minute break, and we will be back with the remainder of this game here on Derby Date Night. welcome back to Derby Date Night, where you are joining us for the second half of our first game of the JRDA Open Regionals, where the winner of this weekend's tournament will go on to play in the Nationals in Loveland, Colorado on July 12th and 13th. You are joining us to watch Cincinnati Junior Roller Derby and the Kalamazoo Killer Bees. Currently, Kalamazoo is up on Cincinnati, but Cincinnati was outscoring Kalamazoo there at the end of the first half, and so these teams have had a couple minutes, about 15 minutes, to chat, to talk about strategy, to reset their brains, and now they are ready to get going with the second half of this game. As I told you before, we always have a skater of the game that we give a special skater of the game sticker to, and today is no different. And I have got 4 skaters for you that you get to choose between for skater of the game. This poll will stay open until 5 minutes left in the second half. So if you're not sure who to vote for, don't vote too quickly because you can only vote once. So once you put that vote in, that is your vote, and the winner will get that coveted skater of the game sticker. Where are you watching from today? Do we have people from Cincinnati and Michigan? Are you here to watch either of these teams, or are you just someone who is watching for, loves tournaments and likes to watch all sorts of tournaments? Or are you here to watch another team that's going to be playing later? Let us know. This jam is starting with Jaws and Princess Leia out as your jammers. Princess Leia coming out as lead jammer for Kalamazoo. Jaws was able to get out. Princess Leia out, gets through for 4 points, sees that Jaws has gotten out, and decides to call the jam before Jaws can score any points. Kelly's here rooting for Cincy. Okay, we are keeping that penalty box empty right now at the beginning of this game. We've already got some dancing happening on the line. Second half, sorry. Not the beginning of the game, the beginning of the second half. This is only the first game of 6 that I'm going to announce today. Yeah, and I'm already switching everything up. Smearcat, I don't remember Smearcat jamming in last half, so we've got a little bit of a change from Cincinnati, putting up a new jammer in Smearcat. Meanwhile, Ragin' Ray, who we have seen jam quite a bit for Kalamazoo, is on the line and getting lead jammer for Kalamazoo. Smearcat is still pushing through as Ragin' Ray comes around on a scoring pass. Ragin' Ray getting stuck in that pack. Both jammers now fighting in that pack. Smearcat trying to pull that pack to the front. Kalamazoo doing a great job recycling and helping with offense. Ragin' Ray swings to the inside and is able to get through for 4 points for Kalamazoo. Meanwhile, Smearcat taking a hit to the outside is getting pulled to the back of the pack while Ragin' Ray comes around on a second scoring pass, runs into, that was a nice block there by I don't have a number 50 on here. So that was probably Wolfblood, which is 52. That's going to be my guess. Lil Bruiser jamming for Cincy, and we have got Barbie Basher. Oh, Gabrielle is saying Jaws should be up for player of the game for Cincy. Highest points in the game and consistently getting lead when she's out. Thank you, Gabrielle. We appreciate your thoughts. She was definitely in the running for it, and we'll definitely consider that for the next skater of the game. Luckily, we get lots of chances to nominate different people for skater of the game, so we appreciate you're watching on your way to Cincy. Savannah Bananas. Oh, you're going to the Savannah Bananas? I'm jealous. I tried to get tickets and I couldn't. I'm hoping I can when they come to Indy. Lil Bruiser is out as lead jammer for Cincy. Barbie Basher is also able to get out an apex jump, but not able to be completed and will be pulled back by misconduct. And no points will be scored by either team in that jam. We're going pretty fast. We're 3 jams in. We're less than 4 minutes into the second half of this game. These jams are going pretty quick right now. Princess Leia is out for Indy, giving a little wave to Fruit Punch, who is jamming for Cincy. Princess Leia out, sweeping to the outside and narrowly avoiding contact to come out as lead jammer for Kalamazoo. Fruit Punch is trying to pull that pack back and forth, trying to break that pack up at the back. Princess Leia out is through for 4 points for Kalamazoo. Oh, I don't think that was intentional. That was a big ol' high block, though, coming into the pack real fast, and Princess Leia will get a penalty and will wait in the penalty box, while Fruit Punch is now the only jammer out on the track and will be jamming for 1 minute and 12 seconds unless she decides to pass that star to a pivot. Fruit Punch was able to get out of the pack and is now coming around on a first scoring pass. Princess Leia out has scored 4 points and may have some in the pocket, but is going to have to get through that pack one more time for us to be able to see those points. Fruit Punch skating around after having scored 4 points is coming into the pack on a second scoring pass. Princess Leia out in that pack, taking a big hit there from Stella Stardust, but able to recover and get back up. Has scored 4 more points for Kalamazoo. Fruit Punch matching that score with another 4 points. Princess Leia out literally flying around the apex, but was not able to land that jump and was brought to the back of the pack, but recovered and has made it through. Fruit Punch, meanwhile, has also hit the pack and is being pulled to the back and is finding a blocktopus of 4 blockers, 8 legs, right? All focused on blocking. Princess Leia out able to get through there for another 4 points for Kalamazoo, and that jam comes to its natural end at the end of 2 minutes. And the refs are checking Princess Leia out to make sure that her mouth guard is okay and that she's not bleeding from the nose, because I think that's where she got hit, was the nose. But everything looks good, and she's allowed to go back to her bench. Right, Chaos? She said, holy face smash, kiddos. And they're fine. That's what I don't understand. With adults, we would be like, I'm dead now. Heck, I get out of bed the wrong way, and I twist, and I'm like, I'm done. I slept on the wrong side. I can't walk for the whole day. These kids are like, I got bashed in the face. I'm fine. Just going to get up and keep going. That's what I do. I just got a message from Melody Mayhem. So I know that you all love watching roller derby. Melody also enjoys watching roller derby, but she watches it so much that she just tried to pull up the stream after they got home, and her daughter said, no, not roller derby.
Hi, Penny.
So hi, Penny. Yeah, and Penny didn't get to hear her name this time because her mom wasn't allowed to pull up the chat or pull up the stream. That's so funny. Oh, wait, you guys need some jokes. Guess what, everybody? I am in, so Nutcase Grace, who participated in the chat a lot during the last juniors tournament we did because she was unable to attend. She's a black and bluegrass player, so you'll be seeing her play in the next game, came up to me during halftime, and I have a whole new book that Nutcase Grace brought me, and it is called Dad Jokes 2, T-O-O. See what we did there? Dad Jokes 2, punnier than ever. It is, what? And so she will either get credit or blame from all of you, because I am going to enjoy telling you some of these amazing or bad jokes from this brand new book that I just got from Nutcase Grace. Thank you so much for understanding our love of dad jokes and bad puns, and now you all get to suffer. Here, I'll give you a taste. What's a taste of it? Let's see. What do you call a person who is happy on a Monday? Retired. That's a good one. I used to work at a calendar factory, but I got fired for taking a couple days off. That's a good one too. Monster says, hey. Hey, Monster, we're excited to see you. Those of you who are looking at our chat, and you notice that some of our chatters have their name in green and they have a wheel next to their name. And Chaos, do you notice that your wheel is now gold? We finally hit a year of having members. And so now all of our members who joined at the very, very beginning, which how many did you say have been members for a whole year? 12. There are 12 of you out there who are our OG members who have your gold wheels. And if you want to become a member and get your wheel and try to go for the gold like those 12, you can just scan that QR code up there and become a Derby Date Night official third wheel. We have all sorts of fun perks that come with being a member. We currently have 57 members, I think, and we are trying to grow to 100 by the end of this season. We appreciate all of your support and the opportunity to continue bringing you what we hope is the best roller derby, live roller derby in and around the Midwest. I think we are the only traveling roller derby streaming service right now. And these are those 57 members who are often participating in the chat, helping us out as moderators, and just supporting us in so many different ways. We adore you all. And when you do join, you also, if you come here and you're a member and you come to a game and you see us out, mention to me that you are a third wheel member. We have special stickers that are just for you. Just third wheels are allowed to have those stickers, and so you get your own special third wheel member sticker. Clerical timeout. That was to figure out paperwork. Everyone's favorite thing, paperwork. Actually not paperwork because everything's electronic now, so I don't know what you would call paperwork. Electronic. Chaos says we should have a Derby Date Night derby game. Oh, where skaters and people involved are your third wheels or something. That's amazing. Sigma's like, show me some derby. I want to see derby. Well, I'm going to show you some zebras in the wild. We appreciate all of our volunteers so much. And right now they are just trying to figure out some things before we get going with the second half of this game. This is our first game of the day. Sirius, can you show me the bracket, please? Sorry, I did not prepare you for that. Look at you. You're so on top of it. So right now, Saturday, 10 a.m., this is Cincinnati versus Kalamazoo. The winner of this will go on to the semifinal today at 4 o'clock to play Pittsburgh. The loser of this game will play again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for 5th place. So that's what's happening with the winners and losers of this game. Monster, you're going to come see us after the game, sitting by the medics. I would give you a wave, except for you're 30 seconds delayed. So I will wave at you, and then you won't even notice it. So, yeah, you got to come and say hi. Violet says, let's go Beez. Speaking of let's go Beez, Barbie Basher is currently chasing down Jaws. Barbie is lead, but Jaws hit the pack first. So both jammers are currently scoring points. Ooh, I heard a whistle. Somebody's getting a penalty, and it is the pivot for Kalamazoo. Jaws is lead jammer. Barbie was just blinking. So Jaws is the lead jammer, which is what I thought. Jaws was out first. So Barbie is in the pack on a second scoring pass, gets through, and calls the jam. So Cincinnati will outscore Kalamazoo 8-4 in that jam. 84 for Cincinnati. 139 Kalamazoo. I feel like they're closer than they were. Like Cincinnati is just slowly chipping away. Kalamazoo had a really, Sirius is saying, Kalamazoo had a really, really good start, and they scored a lot of points right at the beginning. So, and now they're both these teams are kind of evening out a little bit, but because Kalamazoo had such a strong start, they're still maintaining that lead, but Cincinnati is definitely starting to chip. Speaking of chipping away, Smearcat is your lead jammer for Cincinnati, coming around the corner on a scoring pass. Ragin' Ray was able to get out and will now be chasing down Smearcat. And Smearcat, I'm guessing, is going to call the jam. But I think Ragin' Ray might have been able to steal a point there before that jam was called off. All the high fives to everybody. Great sportsmanship between these two teams. Both jammers checking their shoes. You got to make sure that your shoes are good to go, because we have seen What have we seen out on the track? We've seen a skater lose their wheel. We've seen a skater lose the nut that holds the wheel on, and we have seen a skater lose their whole shoe. Just once. Or we heard a story about a skater losing a shoe. I can't remember which one it is. Princess Leia out and Lil Bruiser jamming for their respective teams. Princess Leia out is not through as lead jammer because Princess Leia out just got a track cut. That is her second track cut of the game, third penalty. So your lead jammer will be Lil Bruiser, who is coming around on a scoring pass to try and, woo, beautiful. Lil Bruiser really does a great job with these spins at the front of the pack. I love seeing it. It's really nice. And coming through, oh, there's that spin again to get around the two blockers that are out on the track, as we have got a couple killer bees in the penalty box. Princess Leia out is standing, or is back in the pack and is now jamming. Yes, Sigma, a whole shoe. That can happen if you don't have her laces tied tight enough. Okay, Lil Bruiser sees Princess Leia out get through the pack and calls the jam off, but not before scoring 8 points with a huge smile, bringing Cincy above the century mark. This is now a 41-point game, and my watch says we are in a loud environment because the crowd is excited. Always fun. Love from Detroit Roller Derby for the Beez. Thanks, Violent Femme. 20 minutes left in this game, but don't you worry, we have 3 more games coming today. Barbie Basher for Kalamazoo and Fruit Punch for Cincinnati. Barbie Basher is able to get through and become lead jammer. Fruit Punch is sweeping from side to side, has that star off, does not seem to be looking for the pivot, and definitely can't get to the pivot because there is a tripod of skaters that Fruit Punch is being held by, as Barbie Basher has come through and grabbed 4 points. The star has been passed by Fruit Punch to the pivot, who will now be the jammer for Cincinnati. Barbie Basher is able to get through. That pivot is Super Snake, so Super Snake will now be the jammer for Cincinnati and is continuing to try and get through at the back of the pack. Barbie Basher, meanwhile, has gotten through for 8 points, now getting another 4, bringing them to 12. Super Snake is in a tough pack, has 2 blockers to get past, now just 1. Takes a hit from the pivot as Barbie Basher does get through. Kalamazoo blockers recycling up to the front. Barbie coming in on another scoring pass. Cincinnati ready. 41 seconds left in this jam. Barbie getting through for another 4 points. This is now the highest scoring jam in this game at 20 points, or 19. Barbie is in the pack again. And we are going to have, okay, now it went to 18. Why is the score going down? her jam score is going down. I don't know why it's at 18. I think it's more than 18. And another 4 points brings it to 22. We're having an official timeout. No, an official review, looks like. All right, so with an official review, that means I get to tell you some more jokes. Serious. I know you're excited about all these candy jokes. What kind of glasses do gingerbread men wear? Eye candy.
I was never getting
You were never getting that one? All right, you're going to like this one. What 2 letters spell candy? C and Y. Get it? C and Y. C-A-N-D. Y. It spells candy. You're just mad at me now? I love it. Yes, Cincy has been really working hard at coming back, but Kalamazoo was just like, you know what? Cincy's getting a little too close for comfort, so Barbie Basher came out and scored 22 points for Kalamazoo, bringing them to 163. However, we've still got 18 minutes left, and one good power jam can bring this game right back to as close as it was. Melody Mayhem was allowed to get Derby Date Night up on the screen and is now in the chat and actually laughing at one of my jokes. Hi, Penny and Petey. All right, we're going to find out what that official review was about. Tough Tone always makes me wait until the team hears what it is so that you guys don't get to know before the team. We are on a 30-second delay, though, Tough Tone. Does that help at all? I just got a smile, which means, sorry, Aria.
Cincinnati was asking for a forearm penalty on white skaters at the end of the jam.
Okay.
No eyes on it, so there's no penalty being issued.
Great, thank you. Okay, that official review was brought to you by, who was that? By Cincinnati, who was asking for a forearm penalty on Kalamazoo's jammer. The refs did not see evidence of that forearm penalty, so the no call will stand, and Cincinnati will lose their official review. Kalamazoo does still have their official review, and Kalamazoo also has 3 timeouts, while Cincinnati has 2. Ooh, tough wall there for Ragin' Ray. Meanwhile, Jaws at the front is trying to pull that pack apart and become lead jammer, and Jaws does become lead jammer for Cincinnati. Jaws says, I see your 22-point jam, Barbie Basher, and we'll see what I can get done as Jaws comes into the pack, sweeps around to the outside, has to get past 2 blockers and stays inbounds and grabs 4 points for Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Fierce Feline has taken the star and will now be the jammer for Kalamazoo. Has to get that star on the head and visible in order to score any points. A little bit of a banana jam there. Jaws did see Fierce Feline coming and called the jam from the floor, but not before scoring 2 more points, bringing Cincinnati to 106. 106, 163. I'm trying to make it a palindrome, and it's not working. Or a taco cat. I'm going to make it a thing. We're not calling a palindrome anymore. We're calling it a taco cat. All right, next jam. We are about halfway through the second half. Princess Leia out for Kalamazoo is through as your lead jammer. Meanwhile, Fruit Punch, I think that's Fruit Punch. No, Super Snake is jamming for Cincinnati and is trying to find some space. Princess misses a hit at the front of the pack to stay inbounds to grab 4 more points for Kalamazoo. Super Snake taking a minute, trying to use that offense to get through, is not able to, and so is going to tackle this tripod on her own. Princess Layout takes a hit from the front and is getting pulled all the way to the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Super Snake is still trying to find space of her own, has that star off, might be thinking about passing it, but isn't going to be able to because that jam is going to be called. Natural Mama says, good work, Jaws, with pictures of a shark. Da, 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 da. I like it when Jaws gets lead jammer and I get to sing the Jaws theme song. Barbie Basher for Kalamazoo is going to be skating up against Lil Bruiser from Cincinnati. The poll will close in 10 minutes for Skater of the Game. So if you haven't gotten your vote in yet, be sure to be watching those 4 skaters to see which one you would like to vote for to win the coveted Skater of the Game sticker from Derby Date Night. Lead jammer is going to go to Lil Bruiser, but after Lil Bruiser earned, wait, did Lil Bruiser earn lead? I thought I heard a lead called. Maybe not. No, lead is going to go to Barbie Basher. Lil Bruiser, who I thought had lead, was pulled to the back of the pack and got swallowed back up again, which is just the worst for a jammer when you are almost all the way out and then you have to go through all over again. Some nice backwards recycling being done there by Kalamazoo to pull Lil Bruiser back. Meanwhile, Barbie Basher trying to find space in that pack, but is gets a penalty. I don't hardly ever see an H. What's an H? A head block. We can't block with our heads, or you go to the penalty box. But her pivot joined her, so the pivot and the jammer get to sit in the penalty box together, have a little chat for 30 seconds, and then they'll be able to come back out. Lil Bruiser, meanwhile, has scored 4 points. Ooh! Beautiful apex jump. The crowd goes wild as Lil Bruiser grabs 4 more points for Cincinnati. Looking at penalties, Kalamazoo still has a lot more penalties than Cincinnati, but nobody is close to 7. We've got a couple people at 4, but for the most part, Cincinnati's keeping it real clean with penalties today. Lil Bruiser is through with another 4 points. Barbie Basher is out of the pack and through on her not only initial, but has scored 4 points. Lil Bruiser grabbing another 4 points and headed to the penalty box on a track cut. 13 seconds left in this jam. We will be going all the way till the end, so we will start the next jam with a power jam for Kalamazoo, as Lil Bruiser's penalty will not be over by the time the next jam starts. Oh, Melody, tell us why a head block is more common in juniors than adults. Thank you. I love having refs in the chat, and now you have an assignment. Kalamazoo 182, Cincinnati 119. Both teams having scored a lot of points in that last jam. Cincinnati did outscore Kalamazoo by 2 in that last jam, continuing to try to chip away at Kalamazoo's lead. Lil Bruiser in the box, so this is a power jam for Rage and Ray, and Rage and Ray is going to take advantage of it, not becoming lead jammer, so there must have been a no pass, no penalty, which means one of the blockers was not passed legally. So when Lil Bruiser comes out, if Lil Bruiser keeps the star on, Lil Bruiser will still be eligible for lead. Lil Bruiser is through. I believe should be lead at this point, right? Am I wrong? Misconduct putting in the work. Yeah, they're all doing a great job. Yep, there is the lead to Lil Bruiser, and a little bit of confusion there, which is understandable. Because sometimes you don't realize that you had a no pass, no penalty, and Lil Bruiser is like, wait, me? I'm lead? So Lil Bruiser is lead and will control this game. She can decide whether or not to call this or keep going. Kalamazoo in the pack on a scoring pass. Lil Bruiser on her first scoring pass. Rage and Ray has scored 12 points so far for Kalamazoo. 45 seconds left in this jam. Both jammers stuck in the pack right now, but Lil Bruiser is the one who comes out with 4 points for Cincinnati. Rage and Ray also able to get through. They're making me tired. They look tired and I'm tired. This tournament is where endurance is going to come in for everybody. So towards the end of a game, everybody's always looking a little tired. But remember, these skaters are going to play 2 or 3 games in this weekend. And so tomorrow will be interesting to see how everybody is doing. Melody did not stick around to answer why a head block is more common in juniors. She's probably taking care of her children who are demonstrating what a head block is while she's trying to watch this game. Ooh, a little bit of a banana jam at the end of that jam as everybody takes a little bit of a tumble. But nobody's hurt. Everybody's going back to their benches. Kalamazoo brought themselves over the 200 mark at 202. Cincinnati is at 127. And Melody is back to explain to us why head blocks are more common. Size difference. Oh, that's true. And a head block is when you block someone with your head, or is it when you hit someone in the head? Oh, wait, I've got the answer to that. Impact with an illegal blocking zone. So a head block is when you use your head to hit someone, because you can't use your head to hit someone. You can use your shoulders, you can use your butt. You can't use your head to hit someone. This is an official timeout, which means I get to tell you some more jokes. What's a chocolate lover's idea of a balanced diet? A chocolate bar in each hand. I think it's funny. I'm telling jokes and Sirius is not laughing at all, and I thought that was a good one. What did the chocolate bar say to the almond? You're nuts about me. All I got was an eye roll on that one. You know, I bet Nutcase Grace would enjoy that. What is the Joker's favorite candy? Snickers. Come on, serious? Give me something. He said, fine, I give you penalties. Stop making jokes. All right, Cincinnati, we've got a couple skaters with 3 penalties. And Killer Beez. Okay, special shout out to Cookie Crasher and Bunny Burnout, who are the only ones on Kalamazoo with no penalties. And we've got 4 with 4. But again, they still get 2 more for free. But remember, they are free, but you still have to sit for 30 seconds. So that's never fun. What are you counting, Sirius? How many people only have 1 penalty? Yeah, how many skaters have 3 or more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the skaters. More than half of the skaters have 3 or more. It's somebody's birthday. It looks like, is it Fruit Punch? Fruit Punch looks like, yes, I'm guessing it's Fruit Punch's birthday. Happy birthday, Fruit Punch. And if not, happy birthday to whoever you are. All right. We are getting back to the Derby with Princess Leia out and Jaws out there for their respective teams. The chocolate bar is a balanced diet. Yeah, that's true too. Princess Leia out is your lead jammer for Kalamazoo. Jaws is out as well, but is about 3/4 of a track behind, so Princess Leia out zooming through. That was pretty. Pretty and quick. That was a quick jam. 30 more seconds before our next one. Who is that? That is, oh, On Death Rose has a star on for Kalamazoo. I'm used to seeing On Death Rose as a blocker. Fruit Punch jamming for Cincinnati, and we have got our first super chat of the day, and it is from one of our favorite third wheel members who is getting his team ready to play in the next game. Roller Derby 24/7. Eric says, so excited to get going. Let's go IJRD with a donation to Derby Date Night. We appreciate you so much, and we can't wait to see IJRD play soon. On Death Rose was able to get out and become lead jammer. Fruit Punch able to get out as well. But On Death Rose calls the jam before any points can be scored by Cincinnati. Kalamazoo scoring 4 in that jam. Queen of Hearts says, I giggled at the almond joke, and Nutcase and me are pretty much the same person. So, yep, we're going to call it. We're going to call it good. Sirius was not giving me any laughter during that last round of jokes, and I thought there were a couple of them that were pretty good. So I appreciate you all for laughing at my horrible jokes. Misconduct. Okay, I love that Kalamazoo is just having fun with jammers now. They're like, you know what? Let's have everybody jam. So Misconduct now jamming for Kalamazoo. Lil Bruiser jamming for Cincinnati. Oh, great job staying in bounds from Rage and Ray to be able to pull back the Cincinnati blocker and then help her jammer get out with 4 points. No, not 4 points. They're both able to score. Oh! That was a double apex jump. One of them was successful, and Misconduct goes through after scoring 4 points. Lil Bruiser, who I guess was lead. I keep getting confused on who is lead. I think the refs might too, so it's okay. We all are learning together. Okay, the jammer for Killer Beez for this one is going to be Bunny Burnout and Jaws for Cincinnati. 7.5 minutes left in this game, which means you've only got 2.5 in-game minutes to be able to vote for your skater of the game. It is currently pretty close between Lil Bruiser and On Death Rose. go ahead and make your votes. Oh no, Jaws is headed to the penalty box for Cincinnati, and lead is going to go to Bunny Burnout, jamming for the first time in this game for Kalamazoo. Bunny coming around on a first scoring pass and is able to bust through that pack and get through. I love it when skaters have skirts and they flow in the air, like when they kind of like look just so pretty with the skirts in the air, getting blown about by the air. Eric says, become a member and get to help produce awesome content like this. Yes, we love it when people become members, and we would love to see you as a member of our Third Wheels. Jaws is out of the box and back in the game. Oh, wow, there's a lot of red on the... Everybody's getting penalties right now, but not Bunny Burnout, who is still lead jammer. Jaws was able to get through the pack on her initial and will be eligible to score points if Bunny Burnout does not call the jam off. Jaws is in the pack and I think grabbed those 4 points. Bunny Burnout called it. Good job, Bunny Burnout, coming out as a new jammer and grabbing 8 points. If you want to shout out a skater that you are supporting, you can do so by clicking that $sign and sending a super chat, and we will feature it up on the screen, and your skater will get to see all the nice things that you have to say about them, which is always fun. Oh, another timeout. I am going to run out of candy jokes in the first game. Serious. What's the best place to get a candy bar in outer space? Come on. Ooh, Mars is a good choice. What's another place to get a candy bar in outer space? The Milky Way. That's the answer I have written down, but I will allow Mars as an answer as well. Did you hear about the witch's new gingerbread sweet shop? It's all on the house. I think I'm funny. See, Sigma said Mars too. You could go either way with that one. Did you know I have a 6-pack of chocolate bars?
Yes.
You like that one? Here it goes. Yes. Yes, that is the kind of 6-pack I like. Chocolate. All right, and we are getting ready to get back to the Derby. 6 minutes left in this game, and then we will have our next game between Indianapolis Junior Roller Derby and Black and Bluegrass. We have got Cemetery Girl jamming for Kalamazoo and getting lead jammer. Fruit Punch is jamming for Cincinnati. I think that's Fruit Punch. Or that's Super Snake. I keep confusing the two. Nope, it's Fruit Punch. I'm just going to sit here and argue with myself while you guys watch the Derby. Oh, and lead is lost by Cemetery Girl because Cemetery Girl is going under the ground in the penalty box. What? Getting buried in the graveyard. The graveyard of the penalty box, which means Fruit Punch will have 30 seconds to score some points. And when Cemetery Girl comes out from the graveyard, Cemetery Girl will be skating for 2 minutes if she doesn't pass that star to the pivot. Fruit Punch has one blocker to get past. Barbie Basher doing double duty as a blocker and a jammer. Cemetery Girl out of the box. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. Cemetery Girl taking a hit to the outside, but jukes to the inside. And the pack follows her, and she continues to struggle to get through. 40 seconds left, and this pack is a hard one for both teams to get through. Cemetery Girl through for 4 points. Fruit Punch through for 4 points. 26 seconds left. Cemetery Girl through for another 4. Kalamazoo getting ready for Fruit Punch to come in. They've only got 3 blockers out on the track right now. Barbie Basher is the last line of defense for Fruit Punch. Great one-on-one blocking. Fruit Punch is able to get through. Cemetery Girl through right behind. Both skaters have scored 8 points in this jam. With 1 second left, that jam is going to come to an end. Kalamazoo did grab 4 extra more points. Extra more? And scored 12 in that jam. 4 minutes left, which means we are going to end the Skater of the Game poll, and your Skater of the Game is Lil Bruiser, who will be receiving a Skater of the Game Derby Date Night sticker to put somewhere and show off to all of her friends that she was chosen as Skater of the Game. Remember, we've got 2 more games for both of these teams, so if you have somebody you want to be nominated for Skater of the Game in one of the next games, come and let us know during the first half of their next game. Speaking of our Skater of the Game, Lil Bruiser is your lead jammer right now and is in the pack on a scoring pass. Fierce Feline also in the pack on a scoring pass. Lil Bruiser will control this jam with a hop around the blockers, gets through for 4 points for Cincinnati. Fierce Feline also through for 4 points. Lil Bruiser coming into the pack. Fierce Feline about a quarter track behind. Lil Bruiser calls the jam after grabbing another 2 points. Pixie's here in the chat. Hey, aren't you starting? I just looked over and Pixie's waving. And they're going to be playing in just a little bit. What time is it? 11:35? They're going to be playing in 25 minutes. We'll have a small break before our next game between IJRD and Black and Bluegrass. Okay. That lead jammer is going to go to Misconduct. No misconduct being called here because she is your lead jammer. Jaws is behind Misconduct by about a quarter track. Misconduct ducking under the arms of the pivot and trying to call the jam, but it looks like Misconduct was called on a penalty and will be headed to the penalty box. So this will be a 2-minute jam, and Jaws is going to have some time to try and score some more points for Cincinnati. Pixie is ready to get on the track. No, you did not miss the whole first game, Michael Kwan. You just missed like 80% of it. 90% of it. This game is coming to an end here, but we have got more Derby coming up for you. We have 3 more games today. And Jaws is through for 4 points. Misconduct is about to come out of that penalty box. That penalty box is getting pretty full. We now have 4 skaters that are at 5 penalties, but luckily none of them are. I don't think they have enough time to foul out at this point, but I don't know. They could prove me wrong. Misconduct out of the box and onto the track, now on a second scoring pass, has gotten through for a total of 8 points. Jaws has gotten 16, 32 seconds left. What was our highest point scoring jam of the game so far? I think it was 22. So Jaws is potentially going to be trying to beat that, but first is going to have to get past this group of Kalamazoo blockers. Misconduct has gotten 12 points and is coming into the pack on, ooh, beautiful work there to just zoom right up the inside line and grab 4 more points. Both jammers now at 16 with 5 seconds left. Misconduct through for 20, and that jam is coming to an end. Nice job there by all skaters. Everybody got points. Love it when everybody's getting points. We have got some of our fans for IJRD and Black and Bluegrass starting to join us in the chat. We are so excited to have you here, and we'll be getting started with that game here in about 20 minutes. As we come to the conclusion of this game with 15 seconds left, I'm guessing we have got 1 more jam to happen. Okay, Avery, you say everyone join DJRD. You're going to have to let us know, what does the D stand for? Is that Detroit Junior Roller Derby? Who would you like to join, and what team would you like them to join? So if the score stays similar to what it is right now, that would mean that Kalamazoo is going to be going on to the semifinal game today at 4 o'clock, and they will play the winner of the. No, they won't play the winner. They will play whoever wins this game will play Pittsburgh at 4 o'clock today. So if it stays as it is, Kalamazoo will play Pittsburgh at 4 o'clock. Then Cincinnati will go on to play in the 5th place game tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So if you are a fan of either of those teams, make sure to write those times down and come back in the chat to cheer those skaters on. But also you could just stick around because this next game between Black and Bluegrass and IJRD is going to be a good one. So we would love it if you stuck around to watch. with 15 seconds left. I believe this next jam will be the, Detroit. Okay. Ooh, so many people. Big fans of Detroit. Yes, Pixie, come by and say hi before warm up. We always love saying hi to people, and I know Monster's going to come through at some point to get their sticker for being a third wheel member. Lil Bruiser, our skater of the game, is lead jammer in this last jam as the period clock has run out. Lil Bruiser is through for 4 points for Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Bunny Burnout is jamming for Kalamazoo, trying to bust through that pack. Lil Bruiser sails through on the inside line and grabs another 4 points, bringing the total in this jam to 8. Queen of Hearts shouting out Coach Ratchet, not just because she's your teammate, but also because she's a great coach. The teams are excited. Who got it? Oh, Lil Bruiser is getting a penalty, so this jam is going to go the full 2 minutes. Everybody wants to play more derby, of course, so Lil Bruiser was just saying, you know what? I know we want to play for 2 whole minutes, so I'm going to get a penalty. So no jam getting called off. A shout out from Rory Salad saying DJRD loves the Beez. Got some Michigan love in the chat for the Kalamazoo Killer Bees, who are going to be playing Pittsburgh later today in the semifinal game. Pittsburgh did earn a bye in the first round, and so they will not play in the first round, and they will immediately go into that semifinal game. Princess Leia out took the star and is now the jammer for Kalamazoo and will be jamming for the next 26 seconds. Lil Bruiser is out of the pack, takes a hit to the outside, and is getting pulled to the back there by Crazy K. Princess Layout coming around on a scoring pass. Lil Bruiser got through on a scoring pass. 8 seconds left in this game. Both teams have done such a wonderful job. A little apex hop to end this game, and it is a official. Kalamazoo will be going on to play at 4 o'clock Eastern time today. They will be playing Pittsburgh, so tune in at 4 o'clock to watch Kalamazoo. Cincinnati will play again tomorrow morning against the loser of the next game. So whoever loses the next game is who Cincinnati will be playing tomorrow morning. We have had such a fun time with you all here today on our first game of this amazing tournament, and we can't wait to give you more Derby throughout the weekend here on Derby Date Night. We will be right back with another game.